I wanted to react to this Gilbert Arenas video. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I saw that dumb shit,
You
man. I
saw
sent
that
it to my
shit?
group chat the other day, bro. It's
All right, so you seen it. So
it
we'll talk
makes
about it. I ain't gotta play it. You go ahead.
yeah. So for people who haven't seen it, it's like Gilbert was talking about Giannis, like he doesn't understand the game, understand basketball, understand how to train his body. Basically basing it off of at least the clip I saw, he was talking about like playing 34 minutes a night.
Yes.
As your best player, you should be playing this, this, and this. So he brought up like himself. I think he said myself, I used to play 38 minutes. I had AI who used to play like 43 minutes. If AI don't play 43, first of all, if AI didn't play 43 minutes, they weren't winning. That was not a like most teams that AI was on was like he's the offense. So if you're sitting him for like 15 minutes, that's 15 minutes that you don't have offense on the floor. Legit no offense. So now you're not scoring and like you're not scoring for 15 minutes. You're probably gonna end up losing by 20 or 30. And then he was talking about himself like having to play that. It was kind of the same way. Like you're the engine that made that offense go. You were like Arenas was like that. I do not want to say that he
Yeah.
wasn't, but you were not Giannis. And also, it's two things why I think it was different. We're in a different age where, like, unless you're Tom Thibodeau, you're not, or Thibodeau, I don't like to say his name's different. You don't want to, you're not trying to play your star player, especially super heavy minutes
Yes.
until the playoffs. That's called, like, that's why they say wear and tear. That's like, oh, like, and also, like, that coupled with the training knowledge you have now, they don't want to do that because that's higher risk for injury. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing 40, am I more likely to get hurt playing 40 minutes a night or 32 minutes a night? And then to add into that, they be busting teams' ass.
You're up.
If like they we're up 20 with like 8 minutes left. No, I already done played my like 30, 32 minutes. Okay, you know, you're cool, you can come out. Steph had the same thing when they was
That's what
running
I'm saying.
teams like that 2016. Like Steph wasn't playing heavy minutes. Steph was playing like maybe 34, 35 minutes a night.
But you wasn't questioning Steph because you saw
But
it. You
you're
like,
not.
fam, he's getting his work done early, and still, like, even if his numbers were slightly off or down a little bit, it's like, fam, we understand it's because the nigga ain't playing the rest of the game. Like they're blowing niggas out, and they're sitting the fourth quarter. Yes, your minutes is gonna be lighter. We're not gonna play
Yeah.
you
If
more
you
minutes than we have to.
and you would prefer that, to be honest with you. Any coach would prefer like okay, like because the playoffs, everything's gonna get tighter. No matter
Exactly.
like unless it's maybe the first round and you got it sweet. And honestly, first round matchups a lot now aren't how they were before. Where like we know we win it, but rather than us winning at 4 or 5, all right, now we playing game sixes and game sevens against the
In the
team that
first
like
round.
we thought we would be getting up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like that's when you want to play your heavy minutes. I don't want to be playing like 45 minutes a night, and then the playoffs come. I still got to play 45 more minutes. Now I got to play the whole game. If we can't win with me playing, we barely win with me playing 45 minutes. Now I got to play the whole 48. Come on, man. Like that. I didn't like it because of that lens, but also like I think they like to pick on Giannis because like a lot of them want to say, "Oh, I'm a bad guy." Like he doesn't have a bag, but like he's and I always say this too. Like he's just a modern day Shaq for how dominant he is. Instead of just how the game is now, rather than him just being in the post now, moving niggas out the way. Now I'm coming down on the break. I'm coming down straight off the wing. I'm gonna back up because like he might not have a handle, but he still has a handle. People
For a
like just want
seven
to underrate it
footer,
because he's not
for a 7 footer, he
a
has a handle.
7 footer. He has a handle. People want to expect like a KD type of bag. Like he used to be a point guard, cool, but he's mostly been a wing since he's been in the league. He used to be a 3, now he's a 4. He has a handle for a 7 footer though, bro. Like being able to handle the ball and still having the coordination to like do Euro steps, like, and you're not taking the ball. It's not like he's getting ripped up. And people say, oh, well, he's just running and dunking like how James Harden did a few years ago. Like, yeah, but it's working. Like he still is
Yeah.
playing defense. Like he may not be technically skilled how everybody wants to see a skill because he's not doing like 4 hezzies and then going into a jumper. Like he's also what 27,
20,
20
he can
maybe
still
28.
add that. And here's my
That's
biggest issue with
exactly.
that whole conversation with him is, one, y'all say he only runs in dunks because he's bigger than everybody. Fam, how many 7 footers have come into the league? Ain't none of them niggas doing that. Who else came into the
Nobody
league
else is doing
and did that? You have to be coordinated and skilled as a 7 footer to be able to get the ball off the rebound, go coast to coast, Euro step, and dunk the nigga's whole team. Like you have to be able to be skilled to do that. And then
Yeah.
with Gilbert Arenas, he said, yeah, he won a championship. So what? And brushed past that shit so quick. Fam,
Yeah, that's what he said. He said anyone. Yeah. I
you,
was like, he won a champion with it, so cool, but in whatever past that, I'm like,
you
I would get it if you're like if Chauncey was saying it, we still gonna look at it crazy because Chauncey like what you really doing. But when you haven't even gotten to that chair or gotten to that chance, first of all, LeBron literally tapped you on your shoulder and said, "Don't miss," and you fucking missed, and then you lost again. And I'm not even saying this to talk, bro. I promise you, Gilbert Arenas, when I was growing up, was one of my favorite players. I used to use the Wizards and all on 2K. My brother still bust my ass when I did it. It don't matter. But like Gilbert Arenas used to be one of my favorite players, like growing up. Like just watching, oh, he a bucket.
Right.
Like zero people can guard you. Right? Like you're a bucket. Like all that just to still be up here like years later, like with a whole new generation is playing completely different type of basketball you was playing before. Like, yeah, these kids don't get it nowadays. Like, no, you don't get it. Like, it's a new day and age. Like, I usually try to say like, well, NBA players sometimes will more likely know more stuff than we know, just as like fans that's watching, no matter how invested we are in it. Now, like you see stuff like that, you're like that.
You hating?
All right, maybe they all don't know. You don't know some stuff. You don't know the deeper ins and outs of the game itself, but like validating talent by saying or trying to invalidate talent like that, like that's gonna when Giannis hangs it up, he's gonna at the very least be a top 3 power forward of all time.
Easy.
At the very least. And that's honestly if he doesn't take over the number 1 spot. It's just gonna be really hard to do.
He
But
doesn't
like,
need that much more to really be. I mean, he gonna be hard pressed to catch Tim Duncan, but the
yeah,
number
it's
2
gonna be hard.
spot is wide open. Why? Because who's next on that list? I'm thinking like Karl
For
Malone,
me, yeah. For me
KG.
it goes Tim. For me it goes Tim. I really want to put KG there, but like really want to put KG there. We could do that another episode. But for me it goes Tim, KG, Dirk, and maybe I am very much. I will say I'm a Karl Malone hater.
Yeah.
Very much so, avid Karl Malone hater. I do have Charles Barkley over Karl Malone though. That's just me. And then Karl Malone is like my 5th if I did those numbers right. And right now, if you honestly like Giannis could at the very least, like I said, end at 3. He could, and none of them have a chip except for KG and Dirk. He already has one.
He's matched with them, and they
He's
was
matched with
nowhere
them
near a ring at their age where he's at right now. If he
when
gets
he's at
one
now.
more, yo, he leaping them. He got 2 MVPs.
And he
He got
already
a 2
he already
MVPs and
has
a
2
DPOY.
MVPs. He already has both of their resumes, Mike. If you put their resumes together, he damn it has the major accomplishments, and not the extendo stuff like the All Stars, All NBAs,
Which
but
is
like
gonna
their
come.
major accomplishments, like the rings, the MVPs. He already has that. If you damn near put them together right now. So all that said, like I don't know, Gilbert was tweaking. It was nice to see that everybody on Twitter, pretty like whatever, everybody who I've seen said the same thing. Like, all right, nah, you bugging.
Yeah, you just hating at this point. Like the shit that they didn't said about the shit. Like when Charles Oakley was like, yo, he'd come off the bench in the 90s. I'm
in
like,
the 90s,
fam, are you kidding me, bro? He was like, cause he couldn't shoot. Nigga, everybody wasn't shooting in the 90s. That's what y'all get on. Y'all say they shoot too much nowadays, but you saying he wouldn't do nothing in the 90s because he couldn't shoot. He playing like y'all want to play.
Like literally, if he came down running how he do now, and he still got not like Hakeem level footwork, but he still has a nice footwork too. So it's not like you can't put like, oh, well, all that running stuff is dead. Like you're still not stopped. Like he's still taking that contact. Same way I think if you drop LeBron in that same era, he's still taking that contact. Like these are 2 literally monster like built people. Like they're probably the most physical dudes in the game right now. You saying, oh, well, they won't last in the most physical era.
Y'all are wild.
Y'all are. Would you last now? If you're saying that, you have to be able to like who you are at your peak, come in the league and like still be as great as you were. And I think as great as Gilbert was, if you drop him, Gilbert was what probably top 5 point guard at his peak when you came in. If you drop him in right now, he's not. He's not a top 5 point guard. If you drop him at his peak into right now, he still be really good.
I have him below Trey.
I'm looking at my list right now. He'd be around like that Harden to Garland area, like you said, below Trey for sure.
Yeah.
But like you're not top 5. And that's also we're not even including like the Kyries if he comes back healthy. Like if we put him at point next year, depending on how that Ben Simmons stuff work out. Like you're not coming in today in the same league. It's not the same league as it was when you was here before.
And the last thing that I'm gonna touch on with the Gilbert Arenas one, which is what we started out talking about. Like I just didn't understand his point of he don't understand how to take care of his body to be able to play those minutes when Gilbert Arenas himself was out of the league due to injuries. If not for injuries, he would have had a way longer career of doing what he was doing. He said it himself. He was like, when he got that contract, bro, he was damaged goods already. He was like, bro, my knee was shot. I had just came off of surgery. They gave me that contract because they felt like they owed me that contract, but I shouldn't have gotten that contract. And that's why your career was cut short. And so you're going to tell this man that had the body transformation that he did from a skinny 6'9" dude who just came over from Greece with the clothes on his back and
Yeah,
transformed into the MVP that you see before you today, bro, and say he don't understand how to work on his body to be able to
to
play those
manage
type
those
of minutes.
minutes.
Come on now, bro. You're
And like that's yeah, I didn't like that part too. That's why I was also that's the part why I was saying at the beginning though too. Like he doesn't play those minutes because he doesn't need to. Now I'm pretty sure it was minutes he just played like in that, especially in that Celtic series. I know it was minutes he hardly got off the floor. Now
barely.
I would understand it more of like if those minutes stayed the same during the playoffs and like your team is not having success, but like no, my team needs me to win. It's the time like
Which
come on man.
which they did. I'm not. I will give Gilbert Arenas a little bit of leeway on that. 2 years ago, Bud was still playing him like 32, 34
Yeah,
minutes in the playoffs, which as
yeah,
as a fan, I was like,
and they were
Giannis, you got to
losing,
go to bro and be like, hey, look, we're not
and
losing
they
this
were losing.
game. You need to play me 40. I'm not coming out the game as a star player. But since that during the championship run, that's when he started playing him more minutes because he had to match KD because KD was playing 48. And then this season he had no other option because Chris Middleton was out and bro was out there
Right.
getting 40 and 20 in like 44 minutes.
He doesn't know how to take care of his body though. Like that part did piss me off. I was like, and everybody said the same thing. They were literally posting who he used to be before when he came, that picture when he's like, and he's holding the ball like in that red jersey to him like in the gym like with his brother like
Like
that's only I don't want to say only because there's still a big gap, but to go from that and like he got drafted 2014 to go from that in like 2014 to 8 years later like and still if and that's still with him working on his actual basketball
game.
game because he's gotten better as a shooter. Like it's not like he
Yeah.
hasn't worked. So I don't know. I didn't like it because of that. But yeah, no. We was just tweaking. I think that was Phil Handy on the video. I was kind of like, damn, Handy, what you on right
He
now?
wasn't he wasn't agreeing, but it was like you guilty by association, bro. You ain't saying
Because
no.
he was, I'm like, you supposed to be that dude to be like, all right, now especially how well respected he is
Yeah.
outside like the Lakers organization stuff, period. But like how well respected he is just in basketball in general. I was expecting him to come through and be like, all right, wait, yo, hold on.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I like gotta disagree because like it's sometimes you just sitting there playing devil's advocate, you just letting it go. You just like, all right, do you agree or is you not? He
At the
wasn't
very
not like,
oh, good.
you know what I'm saying? He wasn't not like, oh yeah, man, I feel the same way, but he was like, right. He was just be like, all right, right. Like he could also just be like, I'm gonna let your ass talk because you tweaking right now. Because that could have been what he was doing.
At the
I feel
very
like, man,
least, I would have had to be like, yo, this is not my opinions. I don't agree with this. Just jump in real quick. Hey, yo, I don't agree with this. I understand y'all got cameras and y'all recording. This is not my take. This is his take. But he was sitting there
yeah.
nodding. I'm like, what
I was
you
like,
do you agree? Why you nodding your head like that?
Giannis not coming to the Lakers, man. I can tell you that right now.
Hell nah. Hell nah. The Bulls trying to sign his little brother, Costas.
I saw that too. I was like, that's if he hadn't said like what was that 2 weeks ago, he was like, no, who I'm loyal to Milwaukee now, but who knows, maybe down the line, everybody wants to play for the Bulls because Michael Jordan, da 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 da. I was like, don't give me no fucking false
Oh
hope,
no,
man.
no.
And then I saw like they said the Bulls trying to sign his little brother. They was like they doing the same thing the Lakers did a few years ago when they signed him because they was like we want to try to get him here in free agency. And
Nigga,
as soon as he signed that Bucks extension, they was like, all right, get up out. We don't need you no more.
nigga,
You taking up roster
we could
spot.
sign his mom to a contract, nigga. If it's gonna get him over here, shit, take a roster spot. Nigga, I don't care who it is, nigga. Sign his kid up, shit. Everybody
Yeah,
come play, shit. Y'all gonna break him over here.
yeah.
But all right, man. I think that's it for this episode. We appreciate y'all watching another episode of the Pick and Roll podcast, man.
Yes,
Until
sir.
next time, we appreciate y'all.
Peace out.